Showed him what America looks like today, and he goes, "You gotta be kidding! No way!" And anyway, he would like to address the group, and this is going to be an update of a very famous speech that he gave at the Second Virginia Convention in March of 1775. So a big Chicago 2010 welcome for Patrick Henry!
My fellow citizens, can you hear me?
Yes!
My fellow citizens, it is natural to man to indulge in the illusions of hope. We have to shut our eyes to the painful truth and listen to the song of that siren till she transforms us into beasts. Is this the part of wise men engaged in a great and arduous struggle for liberty? Are we disposed to be of those numbers who, having eyes, see not, having ears, hear not, the things which so nearly concern their temporal salvation? For my part, whatever anguish of spirit it may cost, I am willing to know the whole truth and provide for it. I have but one lamp by which my feet are guided, and that is the lamp of experience. I know no way of judging the future but by the past. And judging by the past, I wish to know what there has been in the conduct of the American government for the last 50 years to justify those hopes with which folks have been so pleased to solace themselves. Is it that insidious Pelosi smile with which our petition has been lately received? Trust it not. It will prove a snare to your feet. Suffer not yourselves to be betrayed by a two-packed hit. Ask yourselves how this gracious reception of our petition comports with those warlike preparations which cover our waters and darken our land. Are fleets of armies of bureaucrats and jackbooted thugs necessary to work up love and reconciliation? Have we shown ourselves so unwilling to be reconciled that force must be called in to win back our love? Let us not deceive ourselves. Taxes, bailouts, debt, the drug war, the so-called Patriot Act, these are the implements of war and subjugation. It is all force, and force is the first and last argument to which tyrants resort. I ask, what means this martial array if it is purpose be not to force us into submission? Can we assign any other possible motive for it? Has the U.S. government any enemy in this corner of the world to call for all this accumulation of an alphabet army of thugs? No, she has not. 16,000 new IRS agents. They are meant for us. They can be meant for no other. They are sent over to bind and rivet upon us those chains which the U.S. government has so long forged. And what we have to oppose to them, shall we try compromise? We have been trying that for the last 30 years. Have we anything new to offer the subject? Nothing. We have held the subject up in every light which it is capable, but it has been all in vain. Shall we resort to entreaty and humble supplication? No way. What terms shall we find which we have not already exhausted? Let us not, I beseech you, deceive ourselves. We have done everything that could be done to avert the storm which is now coming on. We have petitioned. We have remonstrated. We have supplicated. We have prostrated ourselves before the throne of the imperial presidency, whether it be Bush or Obama, and have implored its interposition to arrest the tyrannical hands of Congress, the executive, and the courts. Our petitions have been slighted. Our remonstrances have produced additional violence and insult. Our supplications have been disregarded, and we have been spurned with contempt from the foot of the imperial throne. In vain after these things may we indulge in the fond hope of peace and reconciliation. There is no longer any room for hope. if we wish to be free, if we mean to preserve inviolate those inestimable privileges for which we have been so long contending, if we mean not basely to abandon the noble struggle in which we have been so long engaged, and which we have pledged ourselves never to abandon, the glorious object of our contest shall be obtained, we must fight! Woo! Yeah! I repeat it, we must fight! Yeah! We must fight in Congress, we must fight in the courts, we must fight for the hearts and minds of our fellow men, not for security, but for liberty! Yeah! And after that, if there is no peaceful means left, as we are sentenced to absolute despotism, yes, then we must appeal to the great Declaration of Independence. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government.
Yeah.
They tell us we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and when a red light camera shall be stationed at every corner? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the means of effectual resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemies shall have us bound hand and foot? Fellow citizens, we are not weak. We make the proper use of those means which the God of nature hath placed in our power. Millions of people armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destiny of nations, and who will raise up friends to fight our battles for us. The battle is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, to the active, to the brave. Besides, we have no election. If we are base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but into submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Illinois. The war of liberty is inevitable. And let it come. I repeat, let it come. It is in vain to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war has actually begun. They've tried to take our guns. They take more than 50% of our income. They've destroyed the Bill of Rights. Now they are taking away our health care. The next gale that sweeps from the east will bring to our ears the clash of resounding jackbooted thugs. Our brethren are already in the fields of Waco, Ruby Ridge, and Alien Gonzalez's home. Why stand we here idle? What is it that folks wish? What would they have? Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? No! Forbid it, Almighty God! I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give